أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alaikum
Dear brothers and
assalam wa
sisters,
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
this is the IIIT Far East Monthly Community Development Webinar. Uh, Today's topic is project application for funding exercise. I think this is the third session, a repeated session, and we have a very fruitful discussion in the last two sessions. Our presenter, Ustadz Mamoon Al-Azami, is an international trainer, and he is an international NGO management consultant for IIIT. He has over 30 years of international training and development experience. So without ado, we may invite our speaker to start. And just to remind our brothers that due to the new policy of the Zoom, so maybe half an hour or so, the system may be ended, and kindly rejoin us. We will resume immediately after that. Thank you for your support and apology for the inconvenience. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ustadz Mamoon, please.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. My brothers, no sister as yet joined, so I just say my brothers, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Today I have 4 applications with me that I have printed as well as it is in electronic form, and I will share it with you and I will just take you through. There is one from Uganda. There are 2, and one is Dr. the concerned brother from Brother Ibrahim Sulait has not joined, so, and it is for his benefit, therefore I will probably not use that. Brother Firoz from Bangladesh has 2. What I will discuss that, and also from Bangladesh, Brother Zunnun from Sylhet, part of Bangladesh. I think Brother Firoz is in Dhaka, and I have also from Haiti, but Haiti is to be discussed in the fourth Sunday program, because they're sleeping now. It's not suitable time for them. So just to mention that there are 3 projects. So I will start with Brother Firoz, and then I will go to Brother Zunnun, and then I will go to Dr. Anuli project. So the most important thing for us is to remember that as Muslims, we have to serve humanity. Allah says in the Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas, ta'muruna bil ma'ruf, wa tanhawna 'anil munkar, wa tu'minuna billah. Now this is from Surah Al Imran. So Allah is saying, you are the best community. You are the best community selected to serve humanity, or raised from humanity at large to serve all the people in the community. So this is the requirement that we have as Muslims. Allah orders that we be beneficial to the humanity at large, and the central core of benefits to people is that ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhawna 'anil munkar. Ma'ruf and munkar, to command for ma'ruf and to prevent munkar. Now I'm going to explain those 2 terms, because those 2 terms are usually translated as promoting good and preventing bad. But the words chosen by Allah has deeper meaning. So this is also a learning point for us. Some of you will know. So what is Ma'ruf is known, recognized, accepted. So everything good that people do, we all recognize, like a polite person, a helpful person, a truthful person, a bridge builder, a caring person. Everybody knows these are good qualities, therefore everybody accepts them as good. That is why Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was given title of Al-Amin because he was trustworthy, As-Sadiq because he was truthful. Yet people who gave him that title were not worthy of those titles. People who gave him these two titles were not worthy themselves of these titles. So therefore, this Ma'ruf means well known. So when I was working in Saudi Arabia and I asked for direction as to where to go, they would say, you go there and this is a big building, it is Ma'ruf. Everybody knows it. So Allah uses Ma'ruf in terms of good deeds, in terms of good deeds that everybody recognizes as good. And Muslims as an ummah, as a community, would serve the others' needs. It's helping others is the culture of the Muslims. So this is part of the project understanding is helping culture. Okay. So we have to do something that is good and recognized as good by the community at large, Muslim or non-Muslim. And we help everybody. This is the Islamic command in the Quran given by Allah. Munkar means rejected. Rejected means if somebody is a liar, a thief, an abuser, everybody knows it's bad. So even a person who is stealing all the time, if you call him a thief, he will not be happy because he knows it's bad. So even he who does the bad thing will reject that title. Therefore, Allah chose the deeper meaning of serving the goodness, serving for good for the people as Ma'ruf and preventing munkar, bad things happening to people in the community, in the society. So good and bad, we have a role in both. Part of the project development is to do just that. So we need to understand that it is an Islamic duty and order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be helpful to everyone. Like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if one person is oppressing another person, you help them both. So the Sahaba asked, how do we help somebody who is oppressing? He said, by preventing him from oppressing. That's a help to him. And protecting or helping so that the victim, so that he's not suffering the oppression. So this is Ma'ruf and Munkar is the central theme of community development, of project development, of project delivery. So when we are asking for project funding, we need to understand that it is our religious obligation to be that kind of helpful, whatever capacity we have. So let's now share the project from Brother Firoz, 3 projects in one, and I will just share it now. And meanwhile, welcome Sister Aini Maznina. I guess you are from the Philippines. And then there is Brother Abu Naim Muhammad Shahidullah. Rizal Kamaruzzaman is a good friend of mine from Kuala Lumpur. And somebody is just joining in. Very good. So I'm going to share now. Okay, can you see it? Can you see?
Yes, we
Brother
can.
Yusuf?
We
Okay.
can.
Yes, yes.
Is it big enough or I will make it bigger?
This is good.
Okay. Now you can see.
Yes.
Okay. 3 projects in one. It is always good to have one comprehensive title, and you can have, instead of saying the name of the project, there are 3 projects. You can combine them and see how you can actually discover 3 projects in one: madrasa, orphanage, and then library and resource center. Okay, you have to check the spelling. So what you can say, that you can say an education project for education project, Islamic education project, or just say education project for all, or education resource project, and finish. Education resource project, because you are educating and you are also having a resource and in terms of library. Okay, so this is where you want to have a title that reflects your all activities you are proposing to be funded. You are applying for funding. Okay, so not 3, but please remember comprehensive term, so that everyone who is an officer looking at it will say, okay, it's an education resource project. So there is going to be education and there is going to be resource center. So education involves, so the orphanage, you can say education and social, education resource and social project. So it's 3 covered in one. Okay, so I can, you have given a permanent address and okay. So project title here is madrasa. Here madrasa is in Islamic school. Okay, although in Arab countries all schools are called madrasa, because that's the madrasa means school. Okay, and now they are asking about the information. Second section is about organization, not the project, but organization. You have to check on typing errors. Like you can see, the red sign means there is a gap to be made here. Now it's gone. Here is gap to be made. So this is just a sign. I'm not going to do everywhere. Some spelling mistakes here, but there are figures. You can, it's a big amount. I do not know whether you are actually, the organization is managing this amount already. So it should be clear. It is about organization, not the project you are asking funding for. Okay. So you have, clearly you have received funding, it seems, as you have mentioned here, funding sources. Okay. So I do not know, Brother Firoz, is it some funding that you have received or you are hoping to receive?
Yes, 50% we manage locally, sorry, sir. 50% we are managing and 50% we need to help. And a resource is not resource, research center, research.
Oh, research center. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So you have to you have to check it out, because what there are lots of spelling mistakes. So you said that 2 madrasa, 350 students. Okay.
No, 350.
So when you,
students.
okay, when you say you're maintaining food, clothing, etc., what you say is residential Islamic school or residential madrasa, where they are given full board. Full board means food, accommodation, transport, clothing, everything. Okay, usually it's called full board madrasa. Okay. So
Yeah, and
156,000.
orphanage also is there.
Yeah, madrasa in an orphanage. Okay, so it needs a lot of refinement, but you have to understand, and it is better to make these in different lines, so the money and the project and costs are clear. In a paragraph form, it's not advisable because it's not easily identifiable what the costs are of different components. Okay. Here, background to the main rationale of the proposed grant project. That means you want to give some background and justification for the project. So relevant information on other countries covered, including selected countries' socioeconomic indicators. This is actually for the project, it's not convincing. The comments that you have made, it doesn't connect with this project that you are asking for. The executive summary should say what the project is about. So you are saying 350 students covering all costs of living and learning, living and learning, those two you are covering, and annually you are spending 156,000 pounds. Dollars, sorry. Okay, so you need to justify what you are doing, why you need funding. These things that you say, they don't justify why you need funding. So you need to drastically change the content. You need to say these are orphans that we are taking care of, and we are raising. They need shelter, they need education, they need living support. And you can also say that the facilities available around their homes or the area, you can mention about how few the facilities are that is so important to provide. Okay.
Mamoon, can I say something?
Yes, yes.
Professor Dr. Nadeem from Pakistan.
Yes, Dr. Nadeem Malik. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. How are you?
Walaikum. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Actually, I was just looking about the summary. So can I say about something about the summary that needs to be some clarification?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Actually, the very important thing in the summary, I think, needs to be the rationality that why this particular project is going to be being taken, and you have to actually prove out the gaps which are actually existing in the madrasas, and where there is the need of extra and more money is going to be required for the betterment of what? It is going to be for cognitive skills. Is it going to be for the mental benefits or the mental education of the child, or is it going to be a physical kind of benefits that you are going to be derived? So the outcomes are very much important actually. So summary
Yes,
is
yes.
very crucial and very important. Summary is actually the face of the project. And if the
That's
summary,
a very important point you are making.
yes, if the summary is going to be not catchy and it's not going to be, you can say that saying something, a message to the donors, so you're not going to be unable to actually get some specific amount from the donors. So that's why I was just being very much curious to say something about the summary. Thank you
Very
very much,
good
sir.
point. Very good point. Actually, what Professor Dr. Nadeem Malik is saying is that, let's say, because most of my career I have been a funding officer, and if I see a project that's not really attractive in words and in justification, in background, solid background, then it would mean it's not worth as much time and for me to study and consider positively. So because they don't talk to us.
So
They-
can now going only residential student is 350, there are two 750 student residential. Or
yeah, in the executive summary,
home near house, they are not residential. Only residential.
okay, so
student,
you have to
only the
split the two.
expensive.
You can say so many residential students, so many non-residential students. So the residentials are the orphans. So you need to clarify because it's not clear. You have a lot of information that can justify convincing the funding body. Just that the presentation, as Professor Dr. Nadim Malik was mentioning, the presentation needs to attract the funding body, say, yes, this is where we need to invest. So this is where what he was saying, the need is there, but it's the marketing of the need. That's where we need to make the biggest impact. So, and also background or rationale. Background is, you can say that this an area is very deprived area. There are so many people and there is so much illiteracy, and there is the children are not having any educational opportunity or even living opportunity for the orphans. All those things come in as background and rationale. Okay, because here this rationale is actually all generalized comment. Please, you need some support to get it right. Let me give this is a problem analysis. Core problem that the project is expected to address the constraints, but this is actually, you have not said what the problem is, the root cause of the problem and the effect. So you are saying a general comment about problem without identifying a problem. So you need to do that. And you are saying that 50% you are fundraising and 50% you are seeking funding. So 78,000. First time, this is another issue. If you go to a funding body first time, and if you have not applied before, and if you have not applied, secured funding from other funding bodies, don't ask for a lot of money. But, okay, you can, so again, I'm saying the problem analysis, you say, in the background, you describe the socioeconomic condition of the people there, okay, family condition, orphans, etc. Here you say that they don't have support, therefore we want to provide support. And I was saying, do not ask a big amount. 78,000 is rather big if you have not been funded before and if you have not received funding. So what you do is start small. I would say ask maybe 10 to 15,000 as half in dollars. Once you justify, if they will see it as someone who is going to ask small money and then going to give results, and then they will then consider it more. If the project is strong, they may consider bigger than 15-20,000.
Okay, sir. Can I submit separate? There is a three organization together. I submit it. Can I submit it separate?
I saw 3 projects in one. So then I'm just saying that each section, there are 13 sections. I will not cover every section, but I'll just say general comments so that the others can follow. And you will see Dr. Anule Omar's project is the best project preparation. And I have some minor advice or suggestion for improvement on that. Main rationale of the support. Here, you have to give main rationale, and the main rationale, it's all about OPEC fund intervention, OPEC fund. These are very generalized. It's not focused. Rationale means justification, and know that justifications are 2. One justification is that this is the benefit of funding this project. So 1, 2, 3 positive benefits. And the negative rationale or negative justification is that if the funding is not there, what are the socio-economic and human suffering that will be caused? So what benefits and what cost of not funding? What benefits of funding? What cost of not funding in terms of the suffering of the concerned subjects? So here it needs to be properly written up, and this section needs to be rewritten, please. Project status is, so is the project ready to run? What have you done? What have you progressed? Meaning you can say, we are a registered organization, we have management committee, we have developed this project, we have identified the students, we have a location to run the classes, we have an orphanage already established. All these things are up-to-date information about where you have reached, current status. This is what it says, current status of the project. So are you still analyzing project, or are you still designing the project, or is it ready for implementation if the funding comes? So it's not, it needs to be clear.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, actually, please repeat again. Not clear.
So are you
Network
following? Did you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Did you hear me right?
Yes. Now I can.
Okay. So
yeah.
project description. Okay, project description is where you actually give what are you trying to achieve in terms of as a goal in the end, and specific objectives that will be funded. Objective is specific. Goal is all the objectives together. What are you trying to? So you can say an educated training, living and educating young people so that they can be self-reliant. They can live their own life by their own income. So that would be like goal. Objective would be to provide them the services that you are providing. So the goal is to make them not dependent anymore on you. So this would be specific. Project component, you say total land 12 decimal. It says expected outputs, meaning what would you deliver? 12 decimal, one building, 2-story building. So it's actually also your English needs to be seen by somebody who knows English well. Whoever has prepared, it is not clear in writing. Please seek help, because not everybody is an English expert. When I came to England, I couldn't speak English or understand. Work breakdown structure is what are the steps, what are the actions in sequence, like you have to get land, then you have to get building, then you have to get students, then you have to get teachers, and you have to get books. All these sequential actions are called work breakdown structure, meaning a structure where work is broken down into pieces and they follow one another. Some of them together, some of them must follow one another. Like you can't have books and bookshelves. You have to have bookshelves first and then books so that you have a place to put them. You can't have, let's say, benches or tables and chairs unless the room is ready. So this is a matter of sequence. Okay. Project input is what are you going to do? This is called human resources, effort, what action you will do, what equipment you will need, what material and facilities you will need. All these need to be listed. Okay. Okay, I mean, this is, it needs to be rewritten, please. Certainly you want to do good, but you also want to improve, attract the person, as Professor Nadeem Malik earlier said. Okay, so just note it down what I'm saying on different sections. Justification and what will happen after project implementation. Okay, impact. This is the impact issue. You see, here is impact, meaning it's like, you know, the input is when we eat food, it is input. Okay, output is when I feel I'm happy and satisfied that I have eaten. Impact is I'm healthy and I can do some good work. So these are the links that you need to understand. Okay. Implementation arrangements,
Yes.
sustainability. Sustainability is how will you continue to, because no funding body will give you monthly cost. They will give you once money, but they will expect that you will manage your own monthly running cost. So this is called sustainability, meaning you will maintain the monthly expenditure. So you have to explain how you will earn the income in order to sustain or maintain the services, the project. So actually this needs quite a lot of rewriting. Okay, indicators, smart indicators. These are smart. See, these, they already say it.
Expenditure I mentioned. Monthly
So
expenditure I mentioned.
you have to give specifics and you have to give numbers and you have to show that you are able to achieve it and that it is relevant for the people, and what you have to give a timeline that you start with this at the beginning of the year and what happens throughout the year and at the end. So this is not the answer to what they are asking. Please redo the project. So okay.
Okay, I will mention only monthly
Actually,
expenditure.
I have to
Other
say,
things, whatever.
I will stop share. This is something that needs a lot of reworking. So Brother Firoz, please get some help. And meanwhile, I can see quite a few. Brother Tavish has joined from Fiji, mashallah. Brother Zahid Zamri, I do not know where you are from. And Brother Saad Muhammad.
From Malaysia, sir.
Mashallah.
IIM.
Mashallah. IIUM. Well done. Well done, brother.
Is there any recording of this, sir?
Yes, Brother Yusuf Yu in Hong Kong, who is the organizer of the program, is recording it. And these are actually important feedback I'm giving as a long-time funding officer, both in UK and in Islamic Development Bank. Saad Muhammad.
Thank you, sir. If you can share
Saad
that,
Mahmood.
I will be very, very happy. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, inshallah, it will be, a link is going to be available. Brother Saad Mahmood, where are you from?
Assalamu alaikum. I am from New Delhi, India.
MashaAllah. Welcome, brother. Welcome, Brother Saad. Okay.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah.
Brother Peace Muslim is from Cambodia. So he's an IDB scholar, and I'm very happy to see him. Okay, now I will just share another project. This time it is, let's see, this is another education project. Let me share it with you. Okay, let me share it. I've seen these projects, but but when I discuss, you will see. Can you see it? Are you able to see anyone?
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a project. You can see it says Adarsho Talimul Quran model. Actually, it's better to say, I mean, not when you are applying to a funding body that is not Muslim, it is better to say Adarsho means model education project, you could say, like that. So make it neutral rather than religious, because the organization OPEC is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, mostly Muslim, but not all Muslim. And their office is in Vienna, which is the capital of Austria. And they have this funding body. You can see OPEC, Fund for International Development, or short is OFID. So OPEC Fund is in Austria. You can see the address. Okay. So this is about organization. Okay. Oh, this is your organization name. Okay. And so you have two names, Jamia Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu Women's Madrasa. Okay. So these are all about organization, and it's based in Sylhet. And it has been running for 6 years now, I can see, project duration. So, okay, and project budget. This is project proposal, Talim al-Quran and Jamia Women's Madrasa. So it needs, as earlier I was saying, a project title needs to be short and you are trying to do as a service. Okay. You can say education project, or moral education project, or human resource development project, because Quran is about human resource development. So you can say that in that format, and for women. So you can say women's human resource development project, like that. So it's more neutral and more general. That's better way. And you are saying $70,000 US. This is about organization. So you have been running, you've given, when you have numbers, it is better to list the numbers and also the money, because in a text or in a paragraph form, it's difficult to read all those. So you just bullet point is best. As you will see, Dr. Anule has done an excellent job in terms of preparing. Brother Saad Mahmood, do you need to ask any question now?
Yes, I have got one question. Suppose
yes,
this Quran learning project in Sylhet, it has got a Bangla name. So if somebody uses a Bangla name, will it be a issue for the fund disbursers? Because you have given a suggestion that the name be changed to something more.
Yes, this is a good question. Good question. What you do is any local title, if the organization is, because I'm not sure what the organization's name is, because I have one here at Adarsh Talim al-Quran model, and another here is Jamia Abu Bakr Women's Madrasa. Jamia is usually called, Jamia means university. And if it is up to the end of the madrasa course, which is called Kamil, or the master's level, then it is worth calling it Jamia. But if it is already named and registered, then there is no change is possible. So I guess number 2 is the registered name, which is all English. But number 1 is Bangla and Arabic mixed, and in English. 3 languages represented there. So I would recommend that you make it neutral, not religious based, but neutral. The content can give details. Okay. Here, the organization, see, there is a distinction. The organization that sponsors a project, that applies for a project, the organization has a bigger job. Organization is the big story, and project is one story. It's like organization is the entire garden, and the project is one tree. So understand that difference. The entire garden is organization, but one tree is the project. So you are going for one tree like that. So you need to give description details according on that basis. So here, for example, you have given 275 resident and non-resident students. So maybe you can distinguish between them and also give them educational, the age level and the kind of socioeconomic background they come from, that would be for a project. But here is about organization it's asking for. This is the organization they're asking for. So brief introduction on organization, not the project. So this is, we've been managing these two institutions privately. Here, what you say is what the Constitution says about the organization, what the organization is all about. So you are saying you are managing two institutions. You could manage 10 institutions, for example. But what's the purpose of organization? Why the organization was set up and registered? What the organization does in general, and then objectives. This is objectives. This line needs the objective as in the Constitution, because it's about organization, not the project. Remember. Then organizational structure, governance, and staffing, meaning who makes the decisions. So you have a management committee, or is it called board of trustees, or whatever is the title. So you have to, because it doesn't seem, okay, you have, there's no reply to 2.2 organizational governance and staffing. It doesn't say how many staff you have. So this is about how the organizational structure means who is the final authority. That's the board. And within the board, you have the board president or chairman and secretary and treasurer. And then you have staffing, means who are paid employees. And among them, they have to run the day-to-day affairs without dictation from the board. The board will give a policy, budget, and a framework for operation. Those are the three core components of the board's function. They are responsible to supervise, but they will give to the staff. If it is a school, the head teacher is reporting to the board. And then the board will give the head teachers, this is your budget, and this is our policy that you have to implement. These are the operational framework and guidelines that you have to follow. And then let him run the show. Or if it is, it's a women's organization and a woman is running, let her run the show. You don't interfere every day. So this is to be explained here. Major achievements. What have you achieved? You could say so many hundreds of students have passed through, and what happened to them. So this is an achievement. Is there are two components of achievement. One is in this school context, whoever has passed through are your output, meaning you have produced people who have passed the educational system. And then what has happened to them? They are in jobs, or they are running something. They are living by themselves. They are earning their living. All those things are impact. Okay. So you have output and impact. Output is what you have produced. Income, impact is what they have done to the society or themselves. Okay. So this is major achievement. This has not been mentioned. Funding sources. So $8,750 each. I guess the individuals have funded. There is no funding body. Executive summary is not there. So please, you need to, it's abstract of the project. What's the core issues of the project that you are trying to highlight? It should be mentioned here. Okay. This is background on the country where this project is located. So you can say about Bangladesh, the population, the economic indicators, social indicators, educational standards, poverty levels, unemployment levels. These are some of the indicators that would give a picture of Bangladesh, and you can get it from the government sources. And there are also, World Bank has a lot of information given by the Bangladesh government and collected by them from other sources. So you can use those to highlight, but don't write a kind of a lot of text, but bullet points. So just highlighting core business so that they don't have to read a lot. If you write a lot, it takes your time. If you, that means also they have to read a lot. Okay. Problem analysis is what problem are you trying to address? So the problem is that there is no facility. If you are supporting orphan girls, then you can say that there are orphans, they have no support, and we are providing their living accommodation and covering the living costs. And then they don't have educational opportunity. We are providing the educational opportunity so that they can be a model citizen and they can rely on themselves and contribute to others and their own families, like that. Main rationale, why do you need this project? This is, they're asking, you have to explain. Rationale are two, I said before. Positive benefit of the project and cost of not funding the project. What would be the consequences if the funding is not there? What will happen to these people that you are trying to help? So you have to highlight that, and accordingly, they will consider that. Project status means, I already said before, where is, have you already prepared the project, designed the project and ready for implementation, or is it still being developed? So you have to say, what have you done so far and what you are hoping to do. Okay, then project description, what are you trying, what is the goal and what are the objectives? Objectives are specific and they that's why. So main components of the project, it says outputs and deliverables. So you have to recruit people, you have to educate them, and you have to pass them once they finish. So what would you deliver? What would we deliver is what your output is. And then what they do is the impact. Okay. So then work breakdown structure is what are the steps of the actions that you need to take. If the funding is available, what are the steps you will do? Project input, and it says a lot of things. They are actually giving good guidance about what you need to focus on. And there's nothing written there. Proposed project cost, the components, nothing there. So you need to actually identify what do they, if you are asking for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, break it down into what components, meaning what would that money, what would you use that money for? So here they are called components, meaning you buy chairs and tables, for example, textbooks. Things like that, equipment, maybe computer. So you have to list them, and this is where you list them. And this is justification. Actually, they have given you a lot of contents to address. So detailed implementation plan, meaning what are the implementation steps? And it's also who will do it. Okay. Project budget. Then you go into more details. Equipment, material, service. Can you see? So these are the 13 areas that you need to. So if you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, I will just show you the best project preparation that I've seen among the 2 monthly webinars I do from the audience, and it is from Kampala, Dr. Anule Omar, who is with us. So Brother Zunnun Ahmad has to,
Yes.
and Brother Firoz, both of you need to go through each component and write bullet points so that
Thank you.
you read it and think, will you fund it yourself? That's the good test. So if you have prepared it, you read it and in terms of think that you are going to fund it. Are you convinced that the application is like that? Okay. So I will just stop share and give you a chance to ask questions. Okay. So
Okay.
if there are no questions,
sir, I will,
yes.
Sir, I will.
Yes, Brother Firoz.
I will prepare. Sir, I will prepare one more.
After
form.
this, I
Okay,
want
then I will
to
submit it.
actually later on, Brother Zunnun and Brother Firoz and Dr. Anule, those who have the projects that I have gone through, no need to discuss it anymore here, but I will give you personal feedback when you write to me. Send me a revised version, but first write it, check it, and see if you are willing to pay for it. Meaning, if you were a funding officer, would you consider it? So then you send it to me. Then I will edit it, refine it. Okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir.
and the last
Thanks a
one
lot,
is
sir.
Dr. Anule Omar, and this is the one that I say the best project. Okay.
Okay, sir, thanks a lot. We'll prepare
Okay.
again.
Yes,
Channel
please.
submit.
I mean, this is a learning curve. I mean, you are learning as I give feedback. This is an important process. The first time, I could not focus on the specifics that I'm asking you. It always needs time to absorb, process, and come out with the focused ideas. Okay, so here, Swaiha Charity Foundation is the organization's name, and you can see Dr. Anule Omar is the founding executive director. It's located in Kampala, which a city I very much like. For Dr. Anule's benefit, I have been to Mbale and Kampala to Islamic University in Uganda. I was running this kind of thing, the project preparation and project implementation. I did 3-day course in both places for 2 different audiences. So, and I like the country and I like its people. Okay. Now, project proposal, free mobile medical unit to serve different rural communities. So what you do here, free mobile medical unit, that is enough. Why you need it as project title? This to serve different rural communities in Eastern would be in the detail, not in the project name, because, or you can say free mobile medical unit for rural areas. So that would mean it's a free, it's a medical service, it's mobile, and it's for rural community. So Eastern Uganda, you don't need all of this in one, but it's very well prepared. So only minor amendments are needed. A sector is held, beneficiary country, all these things are well prepared. And it's talking about organizational information. And see, this organization, this Swaiha Charity Foundation is an organization whose mission is to provide healthcare. Now, this is how you should describe your organization. Okay, provide healthcare with development and sustenance to communities in a dignified manner, regardless of denominations, meaning religion, and give them a survival protection to help them live a fulfilled life. So then it says, to achieve this, the organization uses faith-based approaches to support communities through programs in free healthcare, water safety, sanitation. Can you see? Very focused, and key words are there. And the reader, funding reader, that's why I brought it last, because it will give you a great benefit for particularly those 2 brothers who have to improve their project. As a first preparation, you have made a good effort, but learn from this project. This is very focused way. Look at this, objectives, bullet points to bring quality healthcare and health literacy to every community. But you can't say every community because that's not possible. So every community, you can say in rural area of Eastern Uganda, then it's more focused. So every community means Muslim, non-Muslim, every community like that. Okay, so this is very, very good. Bullet points, organizational structure, look at that. This is what they will see, that these people have really understood what the funding body is asking. So can you see how to present? This is a well-prepared project, and after minor amendments, I would suggest Dr. Anule to submit it. Okay, major achievements. So it says we have a legal status as a civil society organization, meaning it is registered. You can say registration number you can give, or whatever the reference number of the government. Then say successful Ramadan Iftar program for the needy communities, Eid al-Adha sacrifice program, but also add how many people benefited, then it's a major achievement. You delivered, you organized Ramadan Iftar for needy communities, but if you say how many people gained from that Iftar program, then it will give the depth of your service. Okay, same for, we have conducted 40 medical outreaches, that's wonderful. And here you have given 10,000 people. Now this is what really counts. So you have done 40 medical outreaches in remote areas of Uganda, and in giving benefit to so many 10,000 people, impacted more than 10,000 people. That's great. You have also mobilized $30,000 from local community. That's something really major achievement. So that's why I'm saying that please learn from this project preparation. And then these are funding sources. Who has funded how much? And you can see community contribution is $15,000. And Medical Hub Kampala, $10,000. So you can say also for medical things, if you get free medicine, it is a financial contribution. The market price would be the financial contribution of the people who gave you the medicines. And the doctors and nurses and pharmacists, whoever is giving time, value that time in terms of the market rate. They're giving it free, but you can say these professionals and specify them, they have given so much worth of time, so that the money that they would have earned if they were in commercial sector rather than community sector, it would be measured. So it would be good to put that. Executive summary, look at this. This is a bullet point again. Uganda is less developed country with very poor health system. So abstract of the project. Many communities cannot provide medical care. So it's more background than executive summary. So these should be in the background and rationale, okay? To carry out, they carry out, in an effort to address this, Muslim doctors from Swaiha Charity Foundation volunteered and they carried out medical camps for vulnerable communities. So this is again background. This is abstract of the project, you see, meaning what are you asking for, not what you have done. So background is what you have done as rationale. So it would be next section. So here, to address the above challenges we propose. So you can say one sentence about challenge. You can say to address the wide-ranging challenges, we propose to do X, Y, and Z. We propose to acquire a vehicle and provide volunteer team with logistical support. This is good. This point is good. Okay, if this project is funded, many people in the underprivileged communities will access quality healthcare. Give numbers. Many people, how many? That's an important point. And over what period of time? In 1 year, so many people will benefit. So this is actually giving focused information. Total cost of the mobile van with etc. is, so this is a summary of the project. You say that you can say the challenge is rural areas do not have any medical service, any medical facilities, and they cannot pay for it. So that's the summary challenge. Saying some, you can say some socioeconomic conditions you can mention, and then say that's why we have prepared this project, and for the project needs, project will provide these services, and the project needs a vehicle, and the logistical support for 12 months to be able to deliver this. Okay, so it's some of the half these first 4 needs to be only very brief here, but background rationale in the next section. Okay, so that background information of the country, it says, and the areas. So here you see what you can do. 32 districts is not really as important to them as how many people and what are their economic and health conditions. So residents of this region are mainly subsistence farmers, and 99 of them live below poverty. Now that's an important issue. 99 of them live below poverty line. So the project will catch it and say, so they are all poor. Virtually everybody is poor, and therefore we need to support. Okay. Government hospital 30 kilometers, very important information. Very important information that the nearest hospital is 30 kilometers. No sick person can go there. So therefore you have to provide. Okay. Health center with this facility on average serves about 50,000 people. This is too big a number for one health center. You can say about health center how many staff there. For a health center with 4 staff provides services to 50,000 people, which is too much. So that will give you an impression. Okay. So you need to just refine it a little bit. The region has some of the worst health indicators. Yeah. So let me share it again. Where is that? Hold on, let me.
Yeah, sorry for the
Let me
interruption.
let me get the project. But the project, I have to open it again. Okay. Do you see? Can you all see?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, because I have to check before I. So here, the 50,000 people I was talking about, the region has some health indicators, very high rates. Can you give high rates? Means out of the target location, what percentage are HIV or hepatitis or diarrheal diseases or malnutrition? Give some percentage. High rate is a generalized statement. If you give a number, like here you say 99% of them live below the poverty line, that kind of number would be, if you say very high rates, it still would not give the power of 99%. So here give some numbers. And one of the worst health systems in the world, you've said. So this is background information. It's asked about country and the target area. Okay. So here, this is actually this whole paragraph. Can you convert it into bullet points? Because it's bullet point is easy to read, like the problem analysis you've done. So, okay, and I'm not going to read all that, but I'm just focusing that eastern region of Uganda has 32 districts, 9 million residents. So, I mean, number of districts is not as important as number of people. Okay, and you have said something already. So you have 9 million people is one figure. Okay, 30 kilometers nearest hospital, and a center facility with give number staff for 50,000 people for a poor community who because of poverty, they get ill more frequently, and 3, 4, 5 staff cannot cope with it. Because if you calculate how much time a patient would need to get service, somebody to receive and somebody to process and somebody to attend and somebody to administer injection or medicine and pharmacy, all that, 4 or 5 people will serve one person going through one after another. So it's not possible that 4 or 5 people can serve 50,000 people, particularly when they are so poor and regularly sick. So you have to give number of factors that put population and target communities at special risk: population density, housing, making a living, poor sanitation. Yeah, these are very important issues. So you can say that these are the issues that create that ill health that you want to address. Okay. So you don't need to give district names. You just say how far it is from Kampala, because people know Kampala, and say 3 districts that we are targeting, or you said landslides in nearby districts or in this area, in the target area, because all these names are only known to you, but not to the funding body, and they don't need to know. They only need to know landslide and how many people have been affected by it, like that. Okay, remote dwellers. You have given actually a lot of valid and important information. It needs just to be refined a little bit so that they can attract, but also see that the most important points are mentioned first and cut down if you can on the contents, so that where it is not really important, you can say this is not a problem. You say another challenge has been, yes, you can say that the project needs to address the problem of logistical support. So just look through it. In general, as I said, it is as it is worth considering. As a funding body, as a funding officer, I would consider it, even though there's a lot of extra information, that some of it can be reduced because it needs time to read through and absorb it. And therefore, so main rationale of the OPEC fund support, good health and well-being for everyone, is one of the 17 sustainable goals. That's good. Healthcare and sustainable development are linked. Okay, if the project is funded, many people in the underprivileged communities. So instead of 32 districts, you say the number of people who are likely to benefit. So Eastern Uganda districts, just say Eastern Uganda districts will have quality healthcare coming to them. Instead of them coming to the health center, the health service is coming to them. That's another important point, that the sick people cannot run around for service, but this is a mobile service. And this is also good. The project, if the project is not funded, the suffering of these people will go on, and already poor health indicators will continue to worsen. Yes, and you can also say their economic contribution for them, their own families and the society would be totally blocked. So, and healthcare is basic right, which is, you can also refer to UN statement about it, as you said, sustainable development goals, and healthcare is basic right, because without health, you cannot do anything. A human being's first requirement to live a reasonable life is to have good health. And so it is a good point. Even if you don't change it, it's still good, very good point, and worth convincing. Project status, you should say what the project status is, 4.4, in where you are at. Or you have said, the Uganda Medical and Dental already provided us with the license. Now that's an important issue. But instead of text, what you have done well is bullet point. So it's easy to read. Project goal, medical service. So when you say medical service, can you also mention the kind of expertise you are taking, doctors and nurses and pharmacists and whatever other things, anesthetists, just say how many people and what professions they represent. So this would then be explaining the quality medical service. Because if you just take doctors, then it is, doctors do not do everything. We need other support people. So it would be good to add those, how many you have, and just give some details about that, so that the poor population will get free. This is provide free and high quality medical service. So high quality will be mentioned there. And to screen major diseases, conduct mass disease prevention and education. Yes. So you should say education first, health education and disease prevention, like that. So because education, when it comes, then disease is prevented. You don't, so the other way around, in sequence terms, education would be preferably first. Okay, it's really good what you have done. Project's main activities, planning, knowledge of health statistics. So project main activities means what are the actions you will take. So you will say mapping out overall aspects of health camp. Yes, this is actually planning the details is the important issue, knowledge of health statistics. So maybe collecting this data is an important consideration before even you plan. So knowledge perhaps could come first. So you can put in sequence and government permission, information dissemination. Yes, campaign. It's very good, very good. And these are just check the sequence. What is first? What is second? Deliverables. 48 camps in 12 months. 5 volunteers. Now here, can you say what are those volunteers? What professions they come from? So it would strengthen your application. Okay. Every person attending. Well, very nice. Everybody, please learn from this, and I'm going to upload it here so you can have this application, because this is really the total 28,646 is reasonable. Okay. Implementation, can you see bullet points? Quite a lot of bullet points. This is how. And then logical framework. So logical framework is, you can see project goal, project purpose, project output, project input, what feeds the other. This is, and this is a Gantt chart. Gantt chart is when what will happen. It's implementation plan is in a Gantt chart form. This is so step by step how when it will be filled and when it will be done. So please, I will send you now after I go through it, and it has fulfilled all components and it has given. So therefore, I'm going to stop share and I'm going to send it now so that you can all benefit from it. Oh, you have done an updated project. Okay, can you? Okay, you have already given. So an updated project is already given by Dr. Anule. So I say that for a future project reference, Dr. Anule, I would ask you to join the fourth Sunday program that is coordinated from the Bahamas, another webinar on the same topic. So I want to give them your project, your project preparation as a learning point for them. They can copy, they can follow the structure, the expression, the focus, the bullet point mechanism, the sequence, and all these things, because as it stands today, which is not the refined project, as it stands, it is worth submitting. So please go ahead, and it would be good if you also submit with it some some documents, like you are registered, give that document. Your constitution, give that document. And local government support or permission, give that document. So all those documents will be beneficial. And this way it will be really good. So can you all just go to this link provided by Dr. Anuli Omar and get that document. If you don't get it, inshallah, if you get it, you will be able to follow the application process and the contents, and it is really a good example. So do you have any questions? We have less than 10 minutes, just 9 minutes left. Do you have any questions? Brother Muhammad Fethi is a good friend of mine in New Zealand. Welcome. And Brother Tabish is another very good friend of mine from Fiji. Okay, Brother Fethi, I will connect with you separately about maybe on Papua New Guinea. I will do a webinar with the Bangladeshi people so that I familiarize with them, and then we will plan my visit, inshallah. So tell me how do you feel about the presentation, particularly the very well prepared project as prepared by good Dr. Anuli Omar from Kampala. Brother Muhammad Fathi, unmute yourself so that we can hear you. We can't hear you. In fact, your microphone is not visible. So can you log out and log in? Okay. Rizal from Rizal is an expert from the private sector, and he has done many projects for Islamic Development Bank, and I was involved with him. So Rizal, give some advice to the brothers, and there used to be one sister. Yeah. So give some advice in terms of project preparation and project presentation, because you are an expert in that.
Walaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Yes, you are back.
Okay, so is it now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, sorry, just I came late, but what I have seen is really good. This is always when we put a request for a help or support, the donor or sponsor, whoever, need more clear information.
Exactly.
And reasonable information too. So if there is any confusion between one or two information, will make the application unrespected, and will be much problem to ask for more information, and will be more detailed.
Right.
And that's really a problem. And this is our problem anyway for all our organizations. They're not really serious to understand the other party looking for clear information.
Yes, because they don't know. So it is our job to give clear information, and for everybody's knowledge, Brother Muhammad Fathi Ragad is IIIT coordinator for Oceania region. Particularly, he has a lot of work around the islands near New Zealand, and is particularly focused on. So I will be connecting with him to support his Papua New Guinea efforts, inshallah. So very good point, Brother Muhammad Fathi.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to? Rizal?
Yes. Assalamualaikum, brother. Can you hear me?
Salamatullah. Please give some expert advice.
Okay. No problem.
Because you are very good at these things.
Okay. Number one, most of the information that we have seen, it needs to be made it into a much more simplified language. You know,
Right.
Sometimes less is better. Okay.
Yes,
and
I agree.
focus on the keywords and key points. And if you are able to obtain some form of data, that be key, that be important, because when you have data that shows that you are on the ball, you're on top of it, and you are aware that, okay, if you can do, your project is doing something like, okay, X amount of percent, with your intervention of, let's say, $100,000, we're able to enhance it by another 50% or 40%. That is what they want to see, because they are all, being opaque. They are all, with dollars and cents. You know, when they see a language, they understand, because the people that are going to access it, most of them are from financial sector. So when they see financial, when you describe it through a financial narrative or be contextual, you know, this is a word that we always use in our IDB program, Brother Mamoon, you know.
Yes.
We have to make it contextual, make it simple. It doesn't have to be some jargons or whatever, you know. So we just have to get straight to the point. In fact, as for me too, we are this program is very good in the sense that most of the programs that I've seen today is all charity based. Okay. But what we are looking at right now is we can, as for from my side, what my team is trying to do right now, maybe I will share with the team, is to come up with something like a program whereby that is able to, enhance this. One of the projects is enhance the safety net of the, with this small contribution, with the contribution that we have from OPEC, they will give them a safety net, especially with the current situation right now. Safety net is number one. That is one component. Another component we're looking at is the possibility of establishing a center of excellence for education of outreach, maximum outreach. I'll give you one example. If we are talking about the ASEAN region there is no common, there is no center of excellence whereby, for example, for a cultural integration, there is something that is required. Most of the projects that we see here are all like, okay, we are buying for medical for free, fine, that's well and good, but we need to create something that is we have maximum outreach with the possibility of having as part of the SDG is a cultural and social and regional integration. And how we go about that is through knowledge and education, especially on culture, because in ASEAN region we share a lot of common denominators. So one of the things that we're doing is to have a center of excellence by using this fund to actually promote doing a program whereby for all the whole ASEAN countries to contribute 3-minute shorties or YouTube, so able to manage all these things, because we, a student from Myanmar, will be able to learn something about Malaysia without going to Malaysia. So this is what we call cultural exchange. So we are, as for my team, what we're doing is focusing on that, because through knowledge and education, that is when we are able to have a real community integration. So there are a lot of things that we can do from this OPEC fund. Although the amount is between 20,000 or 100,000, but how we can we can design it and tailor it. We cut the cloth according to our body, but we have to make sure that this is when with IDB, whenever they invested in a project for JRP, they got a limited budget. When they have a limited budget,
just to intervene, Rizal was responsible. There were 7 companies, and Rizal's company won the contest in terms of Global Islamic Leadership Program. And Rizal was the key person in winning it and then delivering programs. I think there must have been 7, 8 Global Islamic Leadership programs that you have organized.
Competitors, 7 to 8. And whatever it is, Brother Mamoon, remember during that time, we had a very limited budget. But the idea is with that limited budget, we are able to have maximum impact. In fact, we target 100%, but we got 130%. So it's how we are able to manage the resources that we have. And believe me, once we see some form of evidence of growth, and they come back and do we have to be proactive, whereby after we get the funds, every quarterly we have to submit a report to them, and then they will say, hey, is good. You know, I think we should fund more. So we had to be proactive. We cannot be just accepting the funds and just keeping quiet. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
not
This
only,
is another
it's not only
important
receiving.
component.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my only comment, but I just hope that Brother Mamoon, you really have to assist them in the language, make it simple, and of course you can streamline everything. That's my only comment. But other than that, we'll, at least from this session, I'm able to understand further from my side, and I'm very happy to hear from everybody just now, all their reports, So I really pray for everybody to be able to obtain something from this exercise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me see if anybody else, although we are running, our time has ended. How much time we have on the Zoom?
It's okay. We
Okay.
we have
let's have some more.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to share something? I can see there is Sister Amelia Juliana. Do you want to say something? How about brother from Cambodia? Brother, okay, Sister Amelia, go ahead.
Nothing, Prof. So far, so good.
Okay,
I'm
thank
here
you
just
very
to
much.
get to hear information from the expert.
Very good, very good. Thank you,
Thank you, Prof.
And download this form and see how well structured, but it needs to be, the words need to go down, as Rizal rightly says. Rizal is an expert in terms of in the private sector, but also he has been working with Islamic Development Bank, and I was involved with the same project, even though it was not my department project, but I was closely associated and involved with it on the Global Islamic Leadership Program. So combining Islamic side with professional side of leadership to make a difference in the society. And the cultural integration, if you like, is kind of cohesion work. And that means I keep my culture, but I respect and understand others' cultures. So this is an important issue. Brother P is Muslim. Brother Muslim, if you want to say something. Okay. Okay. So Sister Mila, anything you want to say? Sister Mila, you want to say? Brother Firoz, if your mobile sound off, please. Your sound off. Brother Tabish. Brother.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Okay, brother.
To discuss today.
Okay.
Thanks, brother.
Brother Tabish from Fiji.
Okay. Inshallah, we'll get from you the vital advice.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Thanks, Brother Firoz. Brother Tabish, and if Sister Mila wants to say something. Brother Tabish.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Yes, this has been absolutely fantastic, and I expect nothing less than absolutely fantastic from you, Brother Mamoon. Having known you for a few years, you excel at delivering these sort of education and information that we all need. I think what we need to highlight is that donor agencies do not know exactly who is applying. So it's very important to put your organization and your needs in context. And that has to hit the hard. Because a lot of times, remember that there'll be other people who are very good at writing very good project papers, who may not even have needs, and sometimes donor agencies get taken for right. I'm sure IDB
yes.
So it's very important to be genuine and keep them updated once you do get funding, to keep them updated with the progress of the actual project, so that they know that they are dealing with genuine people.
This is a very important point that Brother Tabish mentioned. Just for your information, Brother Tabish is one of the key people who organized a community development workshop of NGO management training, and where I visited Fiji. So the very important point that you don't wait for them to chase you, but tell them that you funded us and this is what we have achieved, and keep them with pictures and reports and things like that. So they know that these people are active and these people are telling us before we ask them. Very important point. Okay, anybody else, or I can return the floor to our organizing brother, Brother Yusuf. You, inshallah, it's over to you.
Okay, thank you, Ustadz Mamoon, for the sharing and the deliberation, and also for the contribution and participation of all of our brothers and sisters. Inshallah, I hope this is a very good learning opportunity for us how to prepare a project application. Inshallah, we will upload the recording into the YouTube channel for your study or further learning. So inshallah, maybe our next program will be on 11th of September.
Right.
The second Sunday of September. Okay. Thank you so much, really, for everyone's participation and contribution. So, wabillahi tawfiq wa hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.